So, Fidel Edwards, his first game, I've just been told, since 2015. Played for the St. Lucia Zooks. Here he is, dear old Fidel. First one up. Very full one.
He's been applying his trade for Hampshire in county cricket for a number of years. Ripe old age of 38, but he's still very, very fit. Bowls with good pace. He's had a lot of success over recent years in county cricket with Hampshire. He'll be a real asset, I feel, this Talawar's outfit. He's got a reputation of taking wickets early. He can swing that new ball away from the right-handers. He certainly will do while the ball's dry. Perfect.
Comparisons there in terms of the slinginess in the arm with Ali Khan. That shape, yeah, you've got to get that rhythm, get that timing in your front frame to not get it to go from the hand. You don't want it too early, you want it to go nice and late. But the danger of the slingers fraternity was truly, yeah, a little bit like that. And sometimes when you don't quite get your timing right, you just go too early. Easier for the batsman, and also find sometimes the radar would be out. Oh, that should be out. Bit of a slip from Carlos, but he'll get there in the end. Yeah, he is. He's chuckling about it, but the first one down early.
Yeah, done for pace by the looks of it. It skipped off that wicket very quickly. Little Simmons looking to pull that away to the leg side and didn't even get to the leg side. It found mid-off. Charge and looking to pull it away and slicing it to Carlos Brathwaite, who has a little bit of a stumble, unless that's a new move. No mistake with those hands, they're big. Swallows the ball. Eldorado celebration there from Edwards. Simmons goes without scoring. It's one down.
Never chocolate digestive, rich chocolate with cookie crunch. Never chocolate digestive, taste the cookie with chocolate sweetness.
Cookie beats chocolate in Devon Chocolate Digestive. Better because it's both.
It's easy to feel on top of your game. Well, a solid team helps support you. That's why the experts at Jameson make products for immune support made with pure ingredients. We'd say it's a winning lineup. Stay strong with Jameson.
Monroe. Oh, swinging lots, nice and full. Yeah, look at the start that the Knight Riders got. Very similar, because Chadwick Walton got out early, and Jamaica were none for one as well.
Oh, look at this late swing. That's a superb first up delivery to any left-hander. You want to take advantage of this early movement before it does get into the outfield, and you can guarantee the batting side will be doing their best to get the ball into the outfield to reduce the threat of the swing.
Just a little tweak in the field. The new batter, Colin Monroe. Oh yeah, good movement. Late at pace.
Monroe is rehearsing, playing straight. Just falling over that swing. Stumbling towards the offside. Very, very good start from Edwards here. Bowling with good pace, getting the movement.
Amazing, isn't it, what a wicket does for you nice and early. Confidence for a bowler, and just lifts you mentally, and suddenly the game seems a bit easier when you get your rhythm right, Your action's good, increase the timing. There is that lovely bit of swing late. You get it nice and full. Munro on his game, on his toes. And again, searching Yorker length, the swing. Wicket made and to get things underway. None for one.
Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, we could go from long faces to long bites, from waiting for dinner to start to wishing it would never end, from being distant to gathering around the table? Who would have thought that staying home would bring out the best in us? Who would have ever imagined that a simple bucket could do all of this? And without going out, we can bring the best from the outside in. With the KFC Essential Bucket, enjoy 10 pieces of delicious chicken and a bucket of fries for $115.
Jamaica were put into bat by Kyron Pollard. Coin toss. And they managed to muster 135 for 8. Their turn at bat after 20. Phillips the standout. A couple of other 20s. 58 from 42. Kept the Talawars together. In reply, very similar start. Chadwick Walton was out early. And Majid. Oh, he's not ready. Oh, because the sight screen is... The advertising is there, so Sunil Ryan says, hang on a minute. Let's get this sorted. And let's get some more mileage for the sponsors. Yeah. Now we can get on with it. Yeah, saw this chap, the Under-19 World Cup down under in New Zealand. Christchurch. Sunil, what happened there? It just has a bit of a brain fade. Oh, half swat. I'm sort of trying to leave it, but I'm not. And then pulls out sort of the stroke. Just to guide that red line.
He's bowling wide of off stump because he's very aware of the short boundary on the leg side to the left-hander. It's only about 65-metre hit.
Down. Yes, good work, old man. Love it.
He's got two fielders positioned out at deep mid-on the boundary and deep forward a square, but it's not a big hit. And Ryan does like to play across the line and sweep slog it into that region.
He's off the mark and so's the team. There should be two. Colin Munro, what's going on? Maybe might have just been unsighted there with the players and his teammate in the way of the line.
Yeah, speaking of Colin Munro, he does like the Talawars. He's played 8 matches against the Talawars and scored just over 400 runs, an average of just a tick over 57 and a strike rate of 153. Well, that's excellent return.
And his last outing against his opposition, Kingston in Jamaica, was 96 not out. So he's dined out against the JTs.
Oh, Muji.
Timing, not there. 2 done, 1 for 1.
Now this is Radical Trading, you know that? And them have everything to cover anything. Radical Trading have the best fabric designs for your upholstery needs, yeah? So furniture, car, boat, tent, even material for school bags.
This will look really nice on my couch, boy.
They even making pillow too.
Sprang.
Oui?
Oh, shucks, I forget the money.
Serious?
They could pay for it for me.
Me and my big mouth boy, I want a Radical get thing to cover mouth yet.
Radical Trading, 4 locations nationwide.
Dozen deliveries in this run chase and just 1 on the board for the loss. Simmons. Fidel Edwards. Yeah, looking to swing it and knock those poles over, these 2 left-handers. That's smarting a little bit for Sunil Narayan.
very well bowled. Full again, swinging to the leg stump, but Narayan hasn't helped himself there. He's just got the bottom edge into either his heel or his ankle.
Third man back, deep backward square on the fence. Goes the other way. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's inside the red tram lines. He played very well last season, Moods. This was in Kingston, I believe. What about... He's bowling beautifully. Just put a hold on seeing Colin dispatch it around the park last year. Get to that in a minute. Going well for Dell. Oh, he just hits it to some extraordinary different parts of a cricket ground. Does Sunil Narayan.
Well bowled again. It's unlucky, but this is the way that Narayan plays. A lot of teams do target the short ball, but this one just a little bit too wide of off stump. The line of it needs to be more middle to leg stump. Flying off that top edge for one bounce four. Done for pace there.
Very welcome, that boundary. Only one so far. It's taken a while. We've had 2.5 overs. Oh, just clubs it straight back past. Gives himself a bit of room. Yeah, nice.
He went for the slower ball, and Narayan was up for it. This hitter length and sat up, and Narayan's just always set up to club the ball, whether it be through the offside or slap it down the ground. And he did the latter, did it very well. I'd be sticking to those quick Yorkers if I was Edwards.
100%. Old Sandshoe Crush is a goodie. Well, here we are, Moods. Here's this innings last season.
Well, he's so hard to bowl to because he does play 360. He's got that reverse sweep. He does like the leg side. Very strong square of the wicket on the leg side and offside. Doesn't matter which way it comes, whether it's a conventional sweep or reverse. As we've highlighted, he's had a very, very good CPL career, and particularly against this opposition.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does. Hugely frustrating, and look at Fidel Edwards. 3 done, 10 for 1.
Kyron Pollard, how are you, man?
I'm fine.
So, tell me something. Would you recommend Omega XL to your friends, to your family, to anyone?
I definitely have. In terms of some of the product that you've given to me, my in-laws, my mom, they were using it before me. I didn't.
Oh, really?
Again, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And when I showed them what I got and what I started to use, I said, okay, you guys can have.
Oh, look at that.
And they're using it, and they were using it before, and I've been working for them. So yeah.
Time for more spin, so it's the opening exchanges of pace and a bit of spin from the far end. Up down, where is it? There it is, Carlos. Oh, and hello. I want to see this mix up again. What was Sunil Narayan doing? Because this was palmed far enough away from a big Carlos who lost sight of it. Ended up getting 2. Incredible. Just out there, the side of the circle. Oh, where did that go? Straight into the mitts. Oh, he's a joy to watch. He's so unorthodox at times, Sunil Narayan.
But it's an interesting contest here because Mujib is very similar to Narayan with his bowling. So I'm just wondering whether Narayan can actually pick him, because he does bowl the doosra as well. He bowls not as many doosras as what Narayan does, but they're very similar bowlers, and also stature. They're both tall and release it from a tall position.
Now suddenly when you have that combination of pace and spin, the power play often runs away from it. Suddenly, look at this, it's 3.3. You're one down, you're on the back foot. Batting side, you're finding the fielder a little bit. Bowler's having a say. All seems a tough going. Going at 3.8 at the moment. Another dot delivery. One to go on this from Ajib. Useful over. Rose right over outside off stump on his guard. Very fine over. 14 for 1 after 4.
When your prized possession is in an accident, when all you've built over the years is washed away, or what's valuable taken from you, Tattle's financial strength and commitment to fair claim settlement make your worries recede. You can depend on Tattle to help restore what matters to you. Talk to us about motor and property insurance you can trust. Tattle, where people are people. You know what I mean. A member of the Answer McCall Group.
On the back foot here. Well, there's the El Dorado Skycam. Hang on, could be an order in there, Moods. Ordered some buffalo wings. Don't know about you, I'm chewing the cheer leg. Starving. Hank Marvin, get it up here. I think I've missed out on the order, Moods. Stick to the biltong. So changing the bowling. Mal Lewis. Now these double headers here in Hero CPL 8. Start of the day and the end of the day. Big old day unites. So we've got to get that early, that buffalo wings earlier. In the moods, we've got to get that order in early. At asking rates, climbing towards 8s. Up and away, no one back there. Doesn't matter because it's disappeared. Soon on a ride with a Hero maximum.
Well, Lewis gambled, tossed it up, looking to turn it away from the left-hander, but just tossed it up a bit too high and a bit too full. Easy pickings for Narayan, just opening himself up ever so slightly so he can access that offside. Such a clean hitter of the ball. He does hit big sixes once he gets going. And I want to see the back of him as quick as possible.
The beauty of T20. The bowling side can be on top and all of a sudden it turns around and they play catch up very quickly. The Knight Riders with their batting lineup, so destructive. Oh dear, that is a bit of buffet bowling on this occasion. Talking about hungry, boundaries to the right.
But it's an interesting decision to bowl Lewis at this stage, to be honest with you. They've got plenty of other options to consider. And this has just got TK off the hook, really. They were struggling. And those two boundaries has just sort of propelled them into the 20s now. Now 24 for 1. And it's not looking so bad for them at this power play. Russell himself could have been bowling this over, or Carlos Brathwaite, two bowlers with a great deal more experience. Or even give Fidel Edwards another over.
Pacey one. Interesting and different from Amal Lewis. One to go in the 5th. Up and over and away she goes. Yeah, races into the cushions. So 14 off the 5th, and TKR are 28 for 1 here.
When I'm doing what I love, I give my very best. It's even better when I'm covered in amazing fragrance. Downy with odor block technology protects the wonderful fragrance on my clothes, even at the peak of perspiration. Downy, we're long-lasting freshness all day long.
Don't get bowled out by the competition. Hit a 6 every time with Trooper. Garden tools, power and hand tools, ladders. Hit 6 every time with Trooper. Available at leading hardwares nationwide.
Andrew Russell will get his opportunity with the ball. Sweet timing. Very, very good. Colin Munro, it was a mere push through that extra cover region. The ball raced despite a damp outfield.
Really good from Colin Munro. Such a sensational performer for the Trinbago Knight Riders. Really a purple patch in the Hero CPL over the years.
Good response. A bit of comparison at the end of the power play when the Tallawahs batted. They were 46 for 3 at the moment. Knight Riders 32 for 1. Significant difference in wickets. Colin Board to left of screen, the manager of the Knight Riders. Skewed. Such a deceptive bowler, Andre Russell. Had his problems with his injuries, his knee. The way he lands that front foot has given him problems in maintaining his balance in that follow through.
Trying to get on with it here. Colin Monroe, the final over of the power play. Trying to get a few boundaries to capitalize on the field restrictions. 12 from 4 usually gets off to a much faster start. Might be feeling the pressure just a wee bit.
Wasn't pleased with that call by the umpire. Russell's such a competitor. Had his opportunity with the bat early on, 25 from 26. Can he make a difference with the ball for the Talawas? That's the big question.
Yeah, what stood out for me so far is the planning of the teams, more so against him. It's just only 2 games. Quite a long way to go, but from the early indication, preparations against him have been really good so far. A good start to the over, good start to this spell. 4 deliveries, just 5 runs. Always seem to be carrying a niggle, Andre Russell. He's favoring that leg of his. Maybe it's the knee. Maybe it's the foot area. But such an important integral member of this Jamaica Talawas team.
Ah, gorgeous. Narayan again. Up on one leg. And the timing as good as. End of the power play. It ends on a high for the Knight Riders, 38 for 1.
To help fight the spread of germs, learn WHO's hand washing habits. Yes, the World Health Organization says washing hands with soap is an effective way to prevent the spread of germs. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Trinidad and Tobago.
1, 2, here we go!
Alive gives you more vitamins and minerals than leading brands. Because when you start with more, you own the morning. Alive.
As mentioned, end of the Guardian Live power play. Confirmation from umpire Gregory Brathwaite out of Barbados.
You just feel that the Trinbago Knight Riders, just the loss of 1 wicket. Ansel Narayan in sublime touch, 15 the opener, 30 of 20 in this one. We've spoken ad infinitum about his consistency or lack thereof. And certainly in this year's Hero CPL, started off quite consistently.
That was Brathwaite. It's been brought on by Rodman Powell, searching Powell for wickets. That's the only way they can keep themselves in this game. Look at that beauty. Use of the feet. Nice free flow of the arms.
He absolutely smashed here from Colin Monroe. Just a shimmy down the wicket and through the line of that one. Didn't they enjoy that? Want to see some more of that. Trinbago Knight Riders, support staff and players.
Loud appeal. Unmoved the umpire. Possibly off the pad. Was not convinced at all. Gregory Brathwaite. thigh. Big deflection.
Just indicating there, it's off the thigh pad. Seems to be a very good decision.
Should be a single. No fans at the ground, as mentioned before, but many looking on.
Welcome to Republic Bank's CPL virtual fan stand, and we're bringing these vibes to some of cricket's biggest fans across the region. Here we have Michael all the way from Scotland. Hi, Michael.
Good evening. How you going?
When we hit a 6, how are you going to react?
Michael looked very excited there. Loyal West Indian supporter with his West Indies supporters shirt. I know many of you looking at this telecast would have hoped, more so the ones in Trinidad, would hope that you could have been at the ground supporting your favorite team.
Sam, how you fight?
Seven overs gone, 44 for 1.
You're a dream to me, dream to me.
92 required from 78 deliveries. This game is far from over still. Just never know in T20 cricket. Both teams are a lot of reputable T20 players. I reckon Michael has a question for us.
Sam, how you find this going and who's going to win the game?
Michael is asking us who's going to win. Maybe you guys out there can tell us. Sammy?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a very difficult situation here, Darren. You wouldn't want to bet against Trinbago Knight Riders. Comfortable position, you'd imagine, with 9 wickets in hand. And Sunil Narine in full flow. Could this be all? Could this be all? No, it's gone over his head. Another boundary here for the dynamic Sunil Narine. Just getting enough butt on this one to clear that field at mid-off. Boundary again for the Trinbago Knight Riders.
Yeah, not using that front foot, just swivels off the back foot, expecting length and responding well. He's raced to 35 from 22, Sunil Narine.
There's a good contest on here between these two players. Very familiar as well, playing together with the Kolkata Knight Riders in the IPL. A good partnership as well between these two. Colin Munro, Sunil Narine, left-handed batsmen, like to get off with it. High strike rates traditionally.
And again, this is really good by Sunil Narine. He's taking the attack to the Talawas. And against Andre Russell, the 50 partnership comes up for these two.
Just look at that. Look at how he gives himself that room to access that offside. Almost hitting that ball on one leg. And Sunil Narine, back-to-back boundaries. this over 4-0-4-50. Up for the Trinbago Knight Riders in the 8th over, partnership 52.
And again. That goes for Hero Maximum. Sunil Narayan on fire. 3rd boundary of the over. What a way to start this run chase.
And just overcompensating here. Andrew Russell goes down the leg side, trying to follow Sunil Narayan. And a nice little swivel on that one. And goes all the way for another Hero Maximum. A very expensive over here. 14 from it, 2 deliveries left. How can he respond?
Surely hope you had Sunil Narayan in your Dream 11 team. If you didn't create your own team, you can do so. Join for free and win prizes. Log on to dream11.com or download the app.
50 in the first game, exactly 50 against the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and beaten on 45 in the first 2 games of the season.
$16 runs from the over. 8 overs gone, 60 for 1.
One bad vibe and I'm out this. No, you can't stop this. We're out to get it with Lucas and day and night. Yeah, we're on this. I know you want this. Come on and taste the energy. Day and night, live your Lucas life. Live your Lucas life. Come taste the energy.
Good vibes only. Lucasade. Taste the energy.
27, Monroe. Usually the aggressor in partnerships. Just 9 from 18. Providing good support to Narayan. $76 more required. Sandeep Lamachani will now try to make an impact with the ball.
I'm curious to see how he goes. Mentioned in the first innings how difficult it was to grip that ball, that wet ball. Going second here. All of the rain that we've had, some dew as well. I must say the spinners in the first innings did a tremendous job Sunil Narayan Fawad Ahmed. The turn of the Nepalese international, Sandeep Lamachani.
Starts well. I'm sure in the planning the Talawars will take into consideration the strength of Colin Monroe, his ability to score quickly square off the wicket, so that length need to be a little bit fuller.
Oh, how's that?
Innovation shown. That's the confidence that the Knight Riders have in this run chase.
So 2 googlies. He started off with 2 googlies against these left-handers, and I won't be surprised if he bowls all of his deliveries as googlies. Want to take the ball away from these 2 batsmen. A very good googly as well. Well disguised. Let's see how he goes against Sunil Narayan on 47.
Lamachani obviously would have played for the Barbados Tridents in 2019. Assisted the Tridents, in fact, in winning the title. Had to leave early for national duty. Now he's with the Talawars.
Before that, he played with the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. So he's been around the block. Lamachani, the Hero CPL.
quite sure of the variations from Lamachani. Some players, well, they use the latitude at the crease to give themselves an advantage. Just have a look at Colin Munro, where he stands, batting outside leg, wants to free his arms, maybe to score through the offside. Yeah, just there. It's an excellent first over, just 4 runs from it, 64 for 1.
Kyron Pollard, how are you, man?
I'm fine.
So, tell me something. Would you recommend Omega XL to your friends, to your family, to anyone?
I definitely have. In terms of some of the product that you've given to me, my in-laws, my mom, they were using it before me. I didn't.
Really?
Again, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And when I showed them what I got and what I started to use, said, okay, you guys can have.
Oh, look at that.
And they're using it, and they were using it before, and I've been working for them. So yeah.
Knight Riders in full control of this run chase. Look at that red worm. More important thing, not a lot of dots on that worm. Only the wicket of Lendl Simmons taken so far by the Tallowers. 1 required for consecutive half centuries from the Rhine.
The Knight Riders fans, they'll be enjoying this. Carlos Brathwaite and switches ends, moves from the northern end to the southern end. This is his productivity so far. 50 in game 1, 28 deliveries, 49 of 29.
Ryan was looking at the square leg umpire as if to indicate it was a wide. Can Carlos Brathwaite pull something out of the hat? They need a wicket, the Tallowers. Knight Riders, they have the luxury of overs. 72 required from 64. A lot of power still to come in this Knight Riders batting. Their captain, Karen Pollard, Darren Bravo, as we've come to know, genuine 6-hitter.
Suspense continues, 3 dots in the over. Naran remains on 49. They need some magic here. The Jamaica Tallowers. They need wickets in heaps as well. Very strong batting lineup, as you mentioned there. Darren Ganga and Carlos Brathwaite pull out that magic.
Another play and a miss. I made a point that teams can't find themselves in a situation where they drop their intensity, even if they're playing against a less reputable team. Remember, it's the start of Hero CPL 2020 and you're building towards peaking in that semi-final. Ryan personally wouldn't want to drop his intensity. He'll want to finish this to the end. Another play and a miss.
This has been an excellent over from Carlos Brathwaite. 5-dot deliveries. 2 still on the Rhine. So that in itself is quite an achievement. So he remains on 49. Can he end with a maiden, perhaps a maiden wicket? That's what the Jamaica Tallowers fans would like to see.
Finally he gets it. Consecutive 50s for Sunil Narine. He's making this opening position his own.
Excellent stuff from the Trinbago Knight Riders champion. They're still on the line. After 10 overs, TKR 65 for 1, and it's time for the Angostura LLB drinks break.
Can you imagine the world of Charles chocolates? Imagine Charles. Enter our world.
Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, we could go from long faces to long bites, from waiting for dinner to start to wishing it would never end, from being distant to gathering around the table? Who would have thought that staying home would bring out the best in us? Who would have ever imagined that a simple bucket could do all of this? And without going out, we can bring the best from the outside in. With the KFC Essential Bucket, enjoy 10 pieces of delicious chicken and a bucket of fries for $115.
We all know about Avidan Properties Limited. Welcome to Avidan Park. Avidan is the #1 supplier of quality homes in the central region. All homes include remote gate systems, fully AC, security doors, granite countertops, teak cupboards, porcelain tiles, spacious room, crowned moldings. All homes are fully approved and lot size are 5,000 square feet to 8,000 square feet. So give them a call, WhatsApp, or visit their Facebook page and get one step closer to your dream home.
Can you imagine the world of Charles chocolates? Imagine Charles. Enter our world.
Knight Riders need 71 from 60 deliveries with 9 wickets in hand. It's an equation that favors them, but you don't want to get complacent. The game is a strange game. Love the drone shots showing all the beauty of the stadium, well appointed. And of course, if you've been following our coverage around the globe during daylight hours, you can see the north-south highway to the right of this playing facility, Gulf of Paria and surroundings. Narayan has played well. He's played some shots that I hadn't necessarily seen from him before.
Oh.
Misfield. Cadell Edwards, the 38-year-old. The only thing that I've been keeping my eyes on here, Danny Morrison, is the number of dot balls that have been soaked up by TKR. 40 dot balls in the first 10 overs. 40 out of 60 deliveries not scored off of.
Amazing. And to think, Sunil Narayan got a half century amongst all that. Yeah, half of his just enlightened. Have been dots as well, and he's striking at 144. Yeah, I thought we were in for an intriguing reply in that when Simmons got out for Nord, it was very similar to what Jamaica did. They were none for one. But sadly for them, they lost wickets at 10, 19, 50. They were 5 down for 63. Oh dear. Getting tired down there, foe. That is clean and sweet. Another sixer. This time from Colin Munro. His favourite areas for this left-hander. So often see him down on one knee playing a slog sweep or a cheeky reverse sweep. Lamachani under the pump. 9 already off this half an over. There you go. Very good at this stroke. Now he's starting to feel and get into a bit of a rhythm. Feel more confident to do this, Colin Munro. This game will start to slip away quickly from Jamaica.
But I asked you that just before we came on here. We were sitting over there, and that's the one shot I was saying I haven't seen a lot of. Not the slog sweep, but just that last paddle sweep played by Munro. That could be out. Brathwaite doesn't drop. He does not drop and takes it safely. Big hands. And just as he did in the first game, he gets to a half century in a Rhine and he falls.
Yeah, it's a unique little flick, isn't it? There's a stroke all of his own. That little bit of wrist work. Too much bottom hand and too much height, not enough distance. Carlos and those big mitts. Goes for 53, Sunil Narayan. And the second one down for the Knight Riders at 75.
Hit them for 6 this cricket season with Value Optical and Trinoptics. Get the ultimate power play for your eyes. Buy 1 pair of specs and get 1 up to 50% off. That's right, the party is on at Value Optical. Ensure that your eyes are protected with the best in lens technology and quality frame designs. Celebrate with up to 50% off on your second pair or even additional pairs. Trust your transition specialist. See 2020 in 2020. Conditions apply. See online for more details. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Success for Sandeep Lamachani. Darren Bravo replaces Sunil Narayan. Batsman crossed while the catch was being taken, so Munro will face up to Lamachani again. Oh. 76 for 2.
Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, we could go from long faces to long bites, from waiting for dinner to start to wishing it would never end, from being distant to gathering around the table. Who would have thought that staying home would bring out the best in us? Who would have ever imagined that a simple bucket could do all of this? And without going out, we can bring the best from the outside in. With the KFC Essential Bucket, enjoy 10 pieces of delicious chicken and a bucket of fries for $115.
Ahead of the Trinbago Knight Riders. I was just looking at the Narayan dismissal, and we mentioned he's played beautifully this season. But in the first game, he got to 50, and it was a similar type of shot that got him dismissed. I think he got caught at mid-wicket, though, instead of backward square leg. Doesn't take away from how well he has been batting. I think it's his 3rd CPL half-century. He was dropped by, I think, at long off, and then swept the next ball to deep mid-wicket. this was against Imran Tahir, that first inning, that first match that I was talking about. Didn't nearly take the drone out. Yeah, it was mid-wicket. And then tonight goes again into the big side of the ground. See how far in Brathwaite was.
Now then, the Talawas, what are they going to come up with? Teams with spin and more of it. So I'm going to go back to Majid. Pace off. Brathwaite's gone into slip. Powell, sorry. There it is. The old reversey. And very good indeed. Young Nicky Curtin. Good effort.
It's his reaction here when he notices the ball going towards the boundary again. He's done that beautifully. Great awareness on a slippery surface. Guardian life save of the day or the night. When Colin first came to the CPL a few years ago, he used to play a lot of those shots. Then he cut it out for a couple of seasons. Played a more orthodox role.
Yeah, and a couple of times he sort of got out at a really important juncture. Darren's underway, Bravo that is. Yeah, and it just sometimes players go to that, don't they? Just put that back in the locker. Yeah, it can be a go-to and it's one of the favourites, but that responsibility at the top of the order, I do recall that, Vish, saying, look, I just have to be sensible and a bit more controlled on selections as unique the stance outside off pole to the spinners.
Ali Khan was good tonight, Danny.
Yeah, after a couple of scratchy opening deliveries, the rhythm right. It's got a really good length in conjunction with young Seals, so the pair of them in tandem just seems to feeding off each other. Got a wicket early, Ali Khan. It was all on.
Michael Raghunath, the match referee tonight, I didn't realize, but he coached cricket and football at Marabella Senior Comprehensive, not too far from here in Marabella in the Southland, but he was also a FIFA referee. He refereed in the 2002 Football World Cup in Korea and Japan, and also in the quarterfinals, I think, of the football involved in the Olympics in 2000. And he's a FIFA assessor of referees as well as a cricket coach. So good pedigree, 82 for 2.
The way we move, the way we sound, feel the rhythm. The way we fed, soaking wet, it's the way we play. The way we groove, the way we dance, every night and day. Every night and day. Carib, there's the Caribbean. Carib, let's unleash the fun.
Carib, it's the way we play.
Very comfortable for TKR. Wanting to track down 136. 54 required, the equation from 48. So well and truly under sevens now. He's up near eights for a little while. All those dot deliveries inside the first 6 or 7 overs. More of Lamachani.
Oh, Sandy. So nice, Sandy.
Nothing outrageous. so much time to settle in here as Darren Bravo. Established Colin Munro at the other end. Luxury is there for Bravo. He says, no, I'm going to have a big piece of this one. Oh, good effort, but it was always going away too quickly. More runs.
It didn't strike me as getting all of this, not hitting it as well as he would like. Does like to hit with the spin down the ground and into the onside, Bravo. No doubting that the googly will appear again from Lamishana at some point in this over again.
Want to be happy. Who is our bit fan of the match? Shoya Lawrence, loving the colours, the Trini fan of note. Go girl. Yeah, bit fan of the match. Shoya Lawrence, well done. All that effort, Colin, to smash it into your other boot.
It's just the one thing I'd like to, just to perfect the game, I'd really like to have seen them make use of more deliveries in between the boundaries. Boundary hitting teams, and that's what the game is about, 6s and 4s, but just wonder if they could, just in the pursuit of perfection, have been more precise in their run scoring with over 40 dot balls.
Tries a catcher. Carlos can't get there this time. Yeah, because I hear what you're saying. You start to fall into habits, don't you? Too much of a habit going about batting and the rhythm of batting, particularly in this format. It does fluctuate so quickly. We know that, appreciate that. But yeah, they got into bad habits last year, didn't they, TKR? Bogged down a lot. The other one, Wrongy. We've had 13. TKR 89 for 2.
It's easy to feel on top of your game. Well, a solid team helps support you. That's why the experts at Jameson make products for immune support made with pure ingredients. We'd say it's a winning lineup. Stay strong with Jameson.
Sell your card, pin.tt. Takes 1 minute, so easy. Take a picture from your mobile phone, just snap it now. Oh yeah, it's on. Sell your card, pin.tt. Sell your card, pin.tt. Pin.tt, free mobile app. Pin.tt, just takes 1 snap. Pin.tt.
Edwards at age 38 was swung the new ball. He bowled quite beautifully, actually swung it late. 1 for 9. But as I mentioned in the break, there's a theory that few of the batsmen from Trinidad and Tobago don't play the short ball well, the Bravo brothers included. And Fidel Edwards has tried to exploit that in times. Oh, he's back. Exploit that in times past. So, and over here, looking to go hard at Darren Bravo in particular, but not exclusively, is worth the throw of the dice.
Dime a dozen. Spot on, Bish. So, brought him back. And with pace. Never shy at banging the ball in halfway down. And quiet. Got some lovely full stuff with the new ball in his opening spell. Here we go. Coming back, Fidel Edwards. Some oldies but a goodie. Naveen. Dumbe, yep. Jeez, he's almost up into the 50s club with Bish. Fawad Ahmed. Into the 40s with him and Tahir. Ray at Emirates. And Fidel Edwards. Just a number, of course, Bish. Age is just a number. Look how these guys can kick on because of the advent of T20 and the franchise cricket around the globe. Might see a bit of Praveen in terms of the tournament. It does get a bit drier. Just get a bit more tired.
Yeah, he's a fascinating story for some viewers who may not be familiar with him. He made his IPL debut at age 41. 41. He worked as a liaison officer when the teams did play their IPL matches at the D.Y. Patel Bowl Seam initially, D.Y. Patel Stadium in Mumbai. Talked about playing a lot of tennis ball cricket. It really was a huge thing for Praveen Tambe when the IPL picked him up. Rajasthan Royals through Rahul Dravid and their scouting. Yeah, good. Good from Fidel Edwards.
Into the surface. Leave it a seam. Right down the line. Let it go. Just a bit of angle. Back end of a good length. Good energy from Fidel.
Talking about back in 2013 when Praveen Tambe came to the IPL, 2013, 2014, 15 and 16 when he played there.
We had an old dog, WA, GBH, Bradley Hogg. Yeah, he finished international cricket, hiatus there for a while, and all of a sudden he came back. His mid-late 40s. Another crack. Certainly enjoyed the big bash with him in it. Tongue tearing about.
Impressive glasses as well. I'd have to go short at Bravo here. I'd have to go short at him, but I'd probably want to change the feel. I wouldn't have the man at long on. I'd have fine leg on the boundary and deep forward or deep backward square.
Spoken like a true West Indian quick. Went full, oh hello, put down. Was it a chance or straight into the turf? I think it was. Big mitts, Carlos Brathwaite. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, definite chance. Shelled. Ricky.
Had nearly dropped on the ball as well. There'd have been penalty runs had that happened.
We finished another over. It's 92 for 2.
At this age, he will have his first friend. He will share hugs, but some dirt as well, and maybe a lot more. Because strong friendships need strong children, protect them with Nestle Clim 1 Plus. Contains vitamins and minerals that help them to achieve 100% protection plus nutrition. And Prebio 1 that together contribute to maintaining a healthy digestive system and a normal immune system. Nestle Clim 1 Plus. Your love, their future.
44 required. 6 overs remaining, so all very comfortable. The 3 times champions. Hero CPL in season 8, of course. Now Monroe, it really has been a scratchy but patient innings. Deliveries outweighing his score. Not very often for Colin Monroe.
Here we go, fella.
Is he eyeing up now? Just a little look to that onside. 3 men out in the deep on the big side of the ground tonight. He goes out there, carves it over cover. Well played, Colin Munro. That'll feel sweet.
Just too short, and well played by Munro, deliberately up and over. Producers just nudged me from the back and said if the cap has to be used on the ball deliberately or willfully in order to apply penalty runs.
Is it big? Is it big? Oh, Carlos again! Hardly ever drops it. Those mitts of his are enormous. And he got there. I thought for a moment it was just drifting away from him. But he knows he should have taken this in the end.
Many times in the last couple of days I've said Brathwaite doesn't drop many. Now he's dropped 2 in the space of a couple of overs. He should have gotten himself into a better position earlier. Don't think it was anything to do with going into the lights.
Gone up, he said it's come off the glove. Look, he can't believe it, Glenn Phillips. He's spinning out. Ripping his hair out. He can't believe this. Oh, I want to look at this because he's gone with a reverse sweep. Watch the glove work. Watch the batter's gloves. Oh, did it just brush those gloves of Munro's? Phillips seems to think so. It's over the moon.
Yeah, Munro after that, after he stood for a while, indicated that it had come off of his left thigh. Not that is his decision to make.
100 up for TKR as well. These Kiwis, always trust them. 15 done, and it's 102 for 2.
Kyron Pollard, how are you, man?
I'm fine.
So, tell me something. Would you recommend Omega XL to your friends, to your family, to anyone?
I definitely have. In terms of some of the product that you've given to me, my in-laws, my mom, they were using it before me. I didn't.
Oh, really?
Again, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And when I showed them what I got and what I started to use, said, okay, you guys can have.
Oh, look at that.
And they're using it, and they were using it before, and I've been working for them. So yeah.
Still doesn't look conclusive. I think it'll be okay.
Mujib, stifle appeal. Just 34 required from 29 now. Robin Paul has thrown everything at the Knight Riders. Created some chances, didn't quite get the support of his fielders. I guess, Tom, in a situation like this, you still got to have that belief that maybe a bowler can get a hat-trick and just turn this game on its head.
Well, we've seen crazy things, haven't we, over the years in all formats of the game, where you suddenly think one team is on track to an easy win, and suddenly a couple of wickets changes momentum, and what appeared to be a game that should have been cruised in fall over flat on their face. So it's just over 7 and over, so you would think TKR would stroll this in, particularly given they've only lost the 2 wickets.
outside the off stump. But all teams will have the motivation. It's early days in Hero CPL 2020 because they will be playing for this Hero CPL Championship Trophy. What a beauty. TKR, they've won it on 3 occasions. The Tridents twice. And to the Talawas twice. Miscued. Couple fielders getting under it. And catch taken. Mujib, bowling caught. That's a Republic Bank classic catch.
It's a very, very good catch indeed. Having a laugh about it now, but it could have got messy. Bravo looking to launch that over mid-wicket for 6. Phillips had his eye set on it, the keeper, but so did Mujib. He was happy with the caught and bowl. That's very well taken. That's the third to go. Bravo goes for 14 off 17. It's 105 for 3.
Karen Pollard, big figure, strong man, wonderful strike off the cricket ball, the captain of this Knight Riders team. Very good strike rate. Played a lot of T20 cricket. Karen Pollard has an opportunity here to finish the game for his team. And batting out in the middle will be something that we will look forward to. Fractionally outside the off stump.
And that's where Munro's set up, isn't he? He's batting well outside off stump. It's his way of trying to get away from the LBW. 16 gone, it's 106 for 3.
Now this is Radica Trading, you know that? And them have everything to cover anything. Radica Trading have the best fabric designs for your upholstery needs, yeah? So furniture, car, boat, tent, even material for school bags.
This will look really nice on my couch, boy.
They even making pillow too.
Sprang.
Oui?
Oh shucks, I forget my money.
Serious?
They could pay for it for me.
Me and my big mouth boy, I wonder if Radica get thing to cover mouth yet.
Radica Trading, 4 locations nationwide.
Dwayne Bravo, inch closer to that landmark 500 T20 wickets. He sits on 499 at the moment. Sunil Lorine would be pleased with his effort yet again with both bat and ball. Another half century, another economical spell with a wicket. Well, we've seen some spectacular catches in Hero CPL 2020. This was a good outcome for the Talawas. Have a look at this. Najibullah Zadram offering a catch, and Rahman Paul holding on despite colliding.
I think the second one, Rahman Powell's probably the tougher of the two, even though they both were difficult, but what a tangle they got into. It was Asif Ali, I think, was colliding with him.
And underscores the importance of communicating, even in the field. Nice, very good innovation. How often do we see this from Colin Munro? Using the pace and getting a boundary.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of pace in this delivery either. It was a slower ball. Enough time to swivel around and paddle it around the corner.
Not good at all from Carlos Brathwaite. Hasn't had a very good day. Brathwaite, 1 off 9 ball with the bat. A couple of drop chances. Remember, he previously captained the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots in 2019 and transferred to the Tallawahs. Absolutely beautiful from Colin Munro. Use of the feet, still had the muscle to clear the man at mid-off. Second boundary of the over.
Slowly catching up to a runner ball personally. He had a very, very slow start of it. He struggled with the rhythm in his game. Couldn't find his timing, but he stuck in there and hung in there. And he had the benefit of Narayan at the other end, who was going very freely, so it enabled him to get in and settle. And McCullum will be pleased. He's the coach of the TKR outfit. Very pleased with this performance. They bowled and fielded particularly well to put him in such a dominant position at the halfway mark.
This one even better. Straight as a die. Good contact. And it goes all the way for hero maximum.
We've had 62 sixes, and this is up there with the best of them. Beautifully struck, straight at the side screen. Slightly off-pace delivery too from Carlos Brathwaite, just too full. It's too easy for a player of Munro's class. He moves to 45 now.
Full control of this innings, the Knight Riders. Thanks to that partnership between Colin Munro and Sunil Narayan. Already Munro 46. Was a mere bystander when Sunil Narayan was on the go. Only area he will worry about are the dots, 25.
And that was during the phase of his game that I was referring to right at the beginning of the innings, where he just couldn't get his rhythm at all, and he kept on just picking out the fielders and he couldn't get off strike. He had the mental strength to be able to see himself through that, not get concerned about it.
Gets it just over that short mid-wicket fielder. Starts his innings with a boundary. How typical, Karen Pollard.
17 gone, it's 127 for 3.
Karen Pollard, how are you, man?
I'm fine.
So, tell me something. Would you recommend Omega XL to your friends, to your family, to anyone?
I definitely have. In terms of some of the product that you've given to me, my in-laws, my mom, they were using it before me. I didn't.
Oh, really?
Again, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And when I showed them what I got and what I started to use, I said, okay, you guys can have.
Oh, look at that.
And they're using it, and they were using it before, and I've been working for them. So yeah.
it's only a matter of time for the Knight Riders to secure 2 points. They will reflect on this game and feel very comfortable with their effort in all departments. Their fast bowlers were quite impressive. Ali Khan, Jaden Seals. When you have a guy like Sunil Narayan that can bowl 4 overs, just concede 19 runs, chances of winning, that's heightened.
Yeah, it's interesting, in a game where we thought spin might struggle, Majip also, from the Talawar's point of view, has bowled his 4 overs just for 13 runs. So both of them have done exceptionally well. They might be wide.
Looks a beautiful sight in the night. Brown Lara Cricket Academy.
Tell us, Darren, about when it was built and, you know, the story behind it.
Well, it was supposed to be ready for the 2007 World Cup. And because of the delays in construction, it was commissioned a lot later than 2007. I reckon it was around 2015, if I'm not mistaken, that started to host a lot of competitive matches. There was a refurbishment that had to happen before matches could have been hosted. But it offers a different experience, Tom, to that of the Queen's Park Oval. You talk to spectators and fans, they tell you the sighting is absolutely beautiful at this ground.
Yeah, it's spectacular. It really is. It's a great viewing ground. It's also a great drainage ground, because the rain we've had today, I've never seen anything like it. The whole outfield was flooded completely. We still managed to finish the first game and host this game.
Things just going pear-shaped here for the Talawars. This is what Tom Moody was alluding to earlier. Just after completion of that first match of the day, we had a lot of rain. Just look at this now.
Well, when that picture was at its peak, as in volume of water on the outfield, it took 90 minutes before the next ball was bowled. Believe it or not. It was 90 minutes and they had a 5-over match to complete the first game of the day. And now you would have thought it hasn't rained at all.
Well, on Saturday we'll be back here at the Brown Lara Cricket Academy for another double-header. The Patriots will be up against the Zooks. Zooks today getting the better of the defending champions, so they will be on a high. And then the Warriors up against the Talawars. Second match of the day on Saturday.
It's early stages, obviously, with the table. Teams only played 2 after tonight's fixture, and it's all pretty even. No one's broken away quite yet. Bit of delay here, why the umpires just changed the ball.
Sunil Narayan was on fire earlier today, opening the batting in the run chase. 2 massive hero maximums. Punctuated his innings with 7 fours as well. On reflection, you would think he could have rotated strike a bit better. Lots of dot deliveries in his innings. But he's put his team in a commanding position with that innings.
19 dots, but we all know what we're going to get with Sunny on the Rhine, and that is that you are going to get a fair percentage of dot ball.
Yes, that's because of his dedication, the amount of effort he's placed into his batting. He's adapted his game from being a specialist bowler to being more of an all-rounder. Soon the Rhine. Here are the title sponsors for the CPL. Nice piece of equipment to move around the island, especially in the wet terrain. Tom, are you a biker? Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been on a bike, believe it or not. They make them this big. But yeah, not of recent years. Might have to give that one a bit of a run.
Four required. That 3. I must say, Fidel Edwards, he's looked in good rhythm. A wicket to him. Just conceded 18 runs. He's 38. He's played a fair amount of international cricket. He's been playing some county cricket as well, Fidel Edwards. It's for the County Hampshire, so always good to keep yourself active in the game, for you to be cutting edge. Pollard just delaying the inevitable in this situation. Will be a pleasing feeling for him as captain to know that would have picked up 4 points from their first 2 matches in this competition. Might allow him a little more latitude to try some of the other players in his squad. Amir Django, a young talented player in the TKR camp, wicketkeeper batsman. Webster, another young player, age 25, from Trinidad and Tobago. Akil Hussain, left-arm spinner, more of an all-rounder, very capable with the bat. Anderson Phillip in the background, right of screen, fast bowler who had a chance to be with the West Indies squad in England. Had a really good first-class season for Trinidad and Tobago. .134 for 3.
The way we move, the way we sound, feel the rhythm. The way we fed, soaking wet, it's the way we play. The way we groove, the way we dance, every night and day. Every night and day. Carib, there's the Caribbean. Carib, let's unleash the fun.
Carib, it's the way we play.
Everyone looking very relaxed. Dwayne Bravo might not get an opportunity to bat. He wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, probably A lot of you will be thinking, why was Pollard just blocking out the last couple of balls that are over? The only thing I can put it down to is allowing his batting partner, Colin Munro, to reach a half century. He's on 48. It's only with 2 required. He's probably thinking, well, I'll leave those 2 for my partner. He's worked hard enough out here to deserve a half century.
See if your Terry works, Tom Moody.
He's not going to block the rest of this over out, surely. I think Munro would be quite happy. 49 not out. Team's won. Polly, just finish it, please.
Eyeing up his 13th CPL 50, Colin Munro. Wide signal. That's the end of the game. The Knight Riders, well, they prevail in this one-sided affair. Tallawahs, they will have a lot of thinking to do to change that form around.
This is a champion DJ Bravo.
Yeah, it's been a pretty complete performance by TKR. They bowled particularly well, very well led by Pollard in the field. Collectively, they fielded very well as well.